Hi guys and welcome back to History Help You. Today we're going to be covering the 13th Amendment. So this was passed in 1864 in April, initially sort of rejected by the House of Representatives, but then it was sort of made a central part of Lincoln's 1864 election campaign, sort of swaying Democrats. Sort of, if they'd vote for that, then he would kind of give them more sort of powers. On January 31st, it was passed in the House by a vote of 119 to 56. So it only narrowly cleared the 2/3 majority that it needed. What it kind of said was neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States. So clearly abolishes slavery nationwide, except the Emancipation Proclamation, which essentially says that everyone's free. But again, it kind of has a loophole built within, without being a punishment for crime. So obviously that's gonna then be exploited. Emancipation itself wipes out the Southern economy, £3 billion investment in enslaved people. A lot of planters as well want to sort of resist the transition to free labour. Again, sort of refuse to pay wages, and want sort of freedmen to keep working on the land, so doing agricultural duties. You then had the Black Codes from 1865 to 66. These were kind of enacted by the Southern states, limiting African American freedom on labour. So it mandated sort of labour contracts. You couldn't beg, you couldn't be a vagrant, and it also limited civil rights massively. So you sort of criminalised sort of African Americans, and again exploited the 13th Amendment's punishment for crime sort of cause. Obviously, you had the vagrancy laws, forced labour, and apprenticeships. Children could be apprenticed to farm masters, separating families. Obviously, you had freedmen who can't really afford land or tools, so sort of lands are split into smaller plots. Land gets rented under sharecropping. There's then high interest rates, and essentially people get tied to perpetual debt and sort of get tied to their own land. There's a loss of autonomy, there's stagnation, and also while sort of African Americans were technically free, the economic structure again was quite similar to that of slavery and kind of the dependence that people had. Let's ignore that. 13th Amendment sort of redefined the Constitution, protects personal liberty over property rights. So again, sort of one of the major issues of the Constitution was the fact it allows you to have private property and to sort of take it wherever you roam. A lot of people then sort of said, why can't that just count for slaves? And so this sort of clearly clarifies it. Also empowers Congress to sort of enforce the amendment. And even though slavery initially, even though slavery ends, equality, the fight for equality doesn't. It continues on, and that is it.